Hello again, everyone. The other day I thought I'd have a practice to try making my own splats. I'm really not very good at it, and I was about to embark upon a card. Tried this with the panel. I didn't care for it for what I was going to do, so I thought today I will add to it and do a mixed media-y kind of card to try and cover up some of it because I didn't think it was that special. So I'm sticking to the same colours, and I thought I would stamp some tissue paper. Just here I was just practising with one of the stamps to see which ink would probably be best for this part of the technique. I'm going in a couple of days, I'm off to a weekend with Indigo Blue, which was my sort of foray into mixed media, really. I now do my own kind of stuff based on what I learned there, but I'm in for a good weekend, I am sure. So I'm going to have a go with this. I've dug out a whole bunch of stamps and popped them onto blocks here. They're from these sets I got on Amazon. I really should read more carefully. Look at the size of the things. I thought these were kind of a quarter that. I thought they were that size. But, you know, I've got a lot for my money. So I'm going to use some of these. And a lot of them are to do with postage, with mailing. Things like words, letter handle with care, stamps, frank marks, you know, that kind of stuff. So I thought I would use a variety of these. And they're the ones I put onto the blocks for my background. And I thought, as the things were all to do with, you know, letters and all that kind of stuff, my little embellishment on the front would be a little letter. Well, this die is a studio light. I think I've got that right. I got it from Meissa print, and it comes with a little. This is the little card that goes into the envelope. Look, do you see? So I thought that could be my embellishment. I've got, I die cut a little flower from Gummiapan that I thought I would stick on there, and that could be, you know, the clean and simple card that's coming in or going through the mail in this envelope. So that's that. There is a heart on it. If you want to use it this way around, there's a die cut heart that you could, you know, put a different colour or whatever. I won't be probably using that on the envelope. I may well stick it somewhere on the, you know, the whole composition, but I don't really know. So that's my main sort of embellishment on the top. So I'm going to start from the bottom and work up. I've also dug out this set of Sizzix mixed media type stamps, and I've got the hello one and this blotchy one. So I thought I would do that the next thing maybe. No, the first thing I'll do is stamp my piece of tissue paper. I'll put those at the back for the moment. I've got out some inks. I've got some, it's like embossing paste. Stella Mink, it's called. I've got a stencil. This is from the Crafters Workshop. Love their stencils. I've got some Slap-It-On, and well, let's just kind of go. I'm going to put this on one side. Hopefully I'll remember where I've put it. Let's stamp this. I watched Lou Collins the other day, and she was stamping on some tissue paper. And when she stamped, it just kind of stayed on the tissue paper. When I do it, it goes straight through onto the surface below. So I don't quite know what she uses, but anyway, I've got a little bit of mylar there to just sort of hang on to whatever. Now, these have never been used. They're straight off the carrier sheet, so I haven't conditioned them. So we'll just kind of see. I'm just going to stamp this first of all. This is for me to do tearing and you know, add a few little bits by way of kind of collage. I don't want that one. Let's do this. This is a 10-cent stamp. Let's see if we can make up some kind of little collage for this. Let's just see. And perhaps I'll do another one somewhere else. Okay. This is the sort of thing that you can buy ready printed as, you know, background stuff. This is a butterfly one. Let's try one of these. Okay, I have another one of those somewhere as well. Let's pop it here. You see, mine all comes through. When Lou did it, it was kind of nowhere to be seen. This one is a cute one. It's got an old aeroplane on it. So let's just pop some of these around. I got it the right way up, which is a relief. Which is the right way up now? That way. Okay. What else have we got? There's this one. What's this one? This is like a bit of a postcard, I think. I just did this corner. Which corner did I want? It's difficult to see. This corner down here. Okay. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Building it up. Let's do a different corner and put it somewhere else. Okay. I could still do with something else, couldn't I, really? What does this say? What does it say? Little things or something. I can't really read it. I must have thought it was a good thing to have somewhere. Little things. Could do with a little bit to fill in there. I'm not going to use all of this by any manner of means, but it will just help to fill in some of the space. Have I got something that's that sort of size? That big? There's a nice Paris one here with the Eiffel Tower on. I'm running out of blocks, actually. Let's get the Eiffel Tower upright. I think that will do, don't you? There's plenty there. I'm not going to use half of this. Well, hardly any at all, really, but let's just see. First thing I'm going to do, I'll put that on one side, just clear up slightly, that, just let that dry off a moment. Now, here's my panel. Not quite sure. This is the bit I don't like here. So maybe I'll put it this way and I can build it. I tend to do kind of that. Let's put some splodges on. This is my pumice stone. Perhaps I'll use some of the other one too. The Tattered rose. These are the same colours that I was using yesterday. I thought it'd be quite an interesting thought, actually, to for subsequent days of crafting, to keep one thing. So either keep a stamp, or keep a colour, or keep a shape of card, or a sentiment, or or what. I thought that might be quite interesting. Okay. I remember when I had my challenge blog, Less is More, there'd be a different theme every week. And sometimes we would say, choose 3 things, 3 themes. So you could choose a colour from a previous challenge, a theme from a previous challenge, a layout from a previous, whatever, 3 things to make a new one. Right, next thing, I'm going to put some of this on. Okay, now to add this to my, that's not a bad colour, is it? It's quite sympathetic for the pumice stone. This is, what's the colour? Morning Mist. Versafine Clair Morning Mist. It goes really well. When I tried here, you see, this was the pumice stone, and it's just so pale it wouldn't show. This one was hickory smoke, but it's kind of very grey. This one has got that hint of the warmth, the browny sort of colour in it. So let's do this. I'll get a brush. I've got a pot of water here, and I think I'll use a skinnier brush. These are my tools that I've been using. I keep them in this little caddy so that I'm forever putting them on my desk, and round things roll because the desk's not level. So it's quite handy to be able to just pop the things I'm using in there as I'm using them. So here's a little brush, a little skinny one. Might be better for doing the cutout bit. Let's have a bit of this one here. Because if you want to tear tissue, the easiest way to do it is just to make a waterline, and that just loosens up the fibres so that when you want to tear, you just pull and it tears along the waterline. There we go. Yeah. So there's a little bit, we can stick that on. And what shall we have with this one? Let's have the things that look like stamps. Okay, let's have these. If we want to add any more, we can always come back and grab some more later. Okay, there's a couple of bits of tissue. Should I have one more? Let's have this, the butterfly. There we go. I think you pay a lot of money for a printed tissue like this, but you can do it yourself. This came out of a shirt or a pair of shoes or something. I can't remember exactly. Let's just dry this off. Okay, let's pop some of this on. So where we're going to put these. Because it's tissue, whatever's underneath will show through. So, oops-a-daisy, here's my slap it on. I have to get some more of this. Get it down to the end first of all. Ooh. There we go. Don't know if that's going to be enough, but we'll see. I tend to use a fairly broad sort of brush for this, but it does need to be cleaned off properly fairly quickly afterwards, otherwise it'll just go hard. There we go. And then some more on the top just to keep it down. There we go. Husband just crept in. Are you recording? He says. Whispering. Don't know what he wants, but I will be summoned later, I'm sure. Okay, and this one. Let's put this on there as well. Sometimes tissue paper is too fragile to glue on the back. So if that's the case, then I'll put the glue directly onto the panel, pop the tissue on the top, and then put the slap it on, or whatever medium you are using to attach it. This is a matte medium, which means that it won't dry shiny. It'll dry with a nice smooth matte finish. Okay, now what am I going to do? Oh, a bit of embossing. Let's try some of this. Pop that in there. I'll just wipe the end, but I will clean it properly later. Okay. Now, I can probably save that bit of slap it on too. Right, a bit of embossing. And I'm going to do this kind of round there. I don't know what this is going to look like. It might be a bit de trop, might be a bit much. This one is called Stellar Mink, and I bought it because of the brown quality. But when the pot arrived, I thought it looks really silver, but in fact you do get that little bit of the hint of mink, literally. I don't want to do this too much. There we go. Oh, it's nice, isn't it? I surprise myself quite often. It's really funny. Oh dear. And I will wipe this off the stencil immediately. I don't want to ruin it. But I will wash it properly later. There we go. Just saves it from setting, and you don't want to compromise the shapes of the stencil by little bits of embossing paste drying and sticking in there. Okay, now I think what I'll do next is just sort this little envelope out. I've got, I think I'll leave it white. Shall I leave it white? Let's do the flower. Get it out of this dye. I think it's a little violet or something. Don't know if that was a very good choice actually with this colour. I'm going to keep the colours sympathetic, same sort of colours. I'm not going to use green. I'm just going to keep it with this. You may think I'm mad, but it's what I fancy. Can I do that with this? Yep. Okay. And as I did yesterday, I'm going to use this for the top of the flowers. And I pressed the top and the bottom together. The pad has touched the inside of the lid, so I'm going to use that little bit of ink to colour the flowers. Actually, I think I need a little bit more of the pumice stone for the stem, so let's just try this one as well. I don't know if all of them actually reach. I think there's a hint of colour there. Yes, there is. It's just this bit here I'm talking about. Just there. Okay. Now I'm just going to stick this onto the front of this. I'm just wondering if I should put a little bit of a splattery thing. There's a bit of splattery things onto there, just to let me do a bit of this. Let me have a little bit of this. Okay. just a bit of this. It's a good job I didn't get rid of that Slap-It-On, because I just need a little bit for this, don't I? So here's my on the back of this. Oh yeah. Turn that in. That's going to go like that. Make sure it's flat. That might tear off actually. Yeah, okay. And then this can sit on there like that. And that can go into my envelope like this. Okay, let's stick this on. Glue, here it is. Probably could have stuck this on with some Slap-It-On too, actually. Okay, a bit much glue, so I'll just dab that with baby wipe. That's perfect. Now I need to stick this together. That just needs something on it for a minute or two just to stick. Right, let's get back to this. Where are we up to? This hello, I thought that might be rather nice as a... Let me just stamp this onto a piece of scrap. What have I got? This is where the part of the envelope came from. If I stamp this, I would like to emboss it in platinum. So I do have some platinum somewhere. Let me just get it. I'm going to stamp it with Versamark and then emboss it with platinum. Liquid platinum it's called. Should look nice. Okay, Versamark. Give it a little bit more. I like to give it a little jiggle to give every grain of embossing powder a chance to actually grab a bit of the Versamark, get in on the action. Means that you don't get any bald patches that way. Says she, hopefully. Right, let's just do this. Just wondering whether to colour inside. Just wondering. I'll try it with this. If it doesn't work, then I'll stamp it again and we'll have it plain. But there's no harm in trying. But I want a bit more intense colour than I got from just in the lid. So I'll just put a bit on here. Okay. Yeah, quite like that, I think. Yeah, okay. Now what I'd like to do is to die cut this, I think. I always prefer dies to just cutting because of the much neater edge. Actually, I'm going to stamp this. I just fancy this on somewhere. Let's have a bit of that. yeah, it's filled in a nice little corner just there. Right, die cut that. Put on my envelope. Is that stuck now? Yes. This can go into there like that. I think that's going to go onto foam tape. And the hello, where's the hello going to go? I'll find somewhere. I think that's going to be the size. I don't have anything that's a rectangle that is the right depth, but this one will do because I can cut it from both ends. Let's have a go. What I'm doing is popping this die around one end. I think, I'm trying to remember the make of this die. Might be photo play. Can't remember exactly. Right, I've cut one end. So now I'm going to turn the sentiment panel around this way. Put this around the other end. Matching up the lines. Tape it down. And cut. This, I think, needs a bit of definition on the edges. I'll try with the pumice stone. It's very subtle. It's just the edge. There we go. That's going to go onto foam tape. This is going to go onto foam tape. If I put the foam tape across the heart bit there, oh look, you can see the embossing isn't dry. Across the heart bit there, then it will hang on to the card that's inside and keep it in position. So here's some tape right across the middle. And a little at the top as well. So that's going to hold that in position there. This is going to go like that. I'll put some foam tape onto this. It's too skinny for a double width, but that's fine. So where are we going to put that? I think probably about there. So I'm going to wait now until this is dried, having picked up some of the embossing there. But I think whether I do a border, if I do, I could always edge it with a little of this colour just to lift that up. We'll see. So I've got to wait now until, because that probably won't stick very well if it's still wet anyway. So I'll wait until it's dry, mount it on its card base, and hopefully I'll put it at the end of the video. So thanks for joining me. This weekend, as I say, I won't be here. I'm going to Maidstone to this retreat, this dirty weekend. They call it. Probably will get dirty too. So if there's no videos coming up from me, then do please look at some of the older ones you may have missed. So as ever, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you very soon.